With interest rates going so low, I'm trying to figure out what's the best way to refinance and then buy another property. At the same time, I'm curious, how do you do this again and repeat that on the second property? Do I refinance the second property to get the third? Love to hear your thoughts on repeating the process. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. So what Kevin's referring to is the snowball method. Absolutely. Buy, rinse, and repeat, right? There's different ways to do it if you're going to live in the property. And so you could buy, it's the BRRRR method, buy, renovate, refinance, repeat. But if you're not living in the property, yes, absolutely. Finding a property that is appreciating in value, and where you're able to tap into the equity in that property, even if it's a small amount that enables you to get enough equity to make a down payment on the next one. Let me give you an example of the properties that we build with our team at Morris Invest. So we're building about 500 homes. It ranges based on the year, but about just say 500 homes, single families and duplexes. Okay. And if let's say you're buying one of them for 200,000 and you're putting down, you have the down payment amounts. So you're putting down 20, 25% down and the bank is carrying the rest. Well, because we're seeing such great appreciation, but also your tenants are paying down your debt on the property, and you're building up that equity within a short amount of time, a year or so or less, you have enough equity and capital to be able to rinse and repeat and put another down payment down and pick up that next property. And you might not even need to do a refinance. So you may find that there's not really much reason for you to do a cash out refinance or even a home equity line of credit on the property. Maybe you will, maybe you won't, because you have enough capital coming in and cash flow from a tenant in a property or a duplex. So let's take one of our duplexes that we build. You're looking at over $3,000, $3,200 a month in cash flow. Think about that per month. So think about that at the end of the year, what you're looking at as far as cash flow. And now you've got that additional cash in the bank that you can use as a down payment on your second property, and then rinse and repeat and into your third property. So there are a number of ways to do it. Yes, you could build up the equity, and then of course you've got the appreciation also, because prices are going up, values on properties are going up. I have a friend right now who's building a property, and even though they're not even done building the property, it's already appreciated up like 12% beyond where it was. So just they haven't even moved into the property yet, and it's already appreciated so nicely. We have a lot of clients who we work with who are under contract to close on one of our new construction properties, and then the bank does their appraisal. And since the point at which they sign the contract, purchase agreement, and go through that process to closing, it's already appreciated. So they've actually had a built-in equity before they've even closed on the property. Now, I always say, appreciation is icing on the cake, right? It's not why we invest. We invest for cash flow. Appreciation is nice icing on the cake. And in this market, yes, we're seeing greater than normal appreciation rates. Great. You can't always count on that, but wonderful. Take it. I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. So you'll have this appreciation, and you have a tenant now paying down your debt on the mortgage, increasing your equity position. This, of course, is why we look at internal rate of return, IRR. We've got full videos here on the channel on internal rate of return. I suggest you go and check it out. But again, so yeah, now you've got that equity being built up, plus you have the appreciation, and then you can do a refinance or a home equity line of credit on your first rental, Kevin, and then taking that equity, even if it's a small amount, $50,000, $60,000, that's enough for a down payment on your second one. And then that's how the snowball process works over and over and over again. Let me give you another scenario. I don't really recommend it because it's a full-time job. But a mentor of mine in New Jersey many, many moons ago, I'd say 15 years ago now, he started out, he bought a duplex as his first property. It needed a ton of work. I think he bought it in the neighborhood of $80,000 or $90,000. It was basically a tear down. He didn't tear it down, but he did a full renovation on the property, put like $150,000 or so into it. He got financing to do this initial first property, spent the 6 or 7 months doing the renovations, hiring the contractors, doing all of that legwork. Not easy. Okay, again, this is a full-time job if you're going to be a flipper in that way. And then he did a refinance based on now the new position of this house being renovated. He's able to pull out a nice, bigger equity position because it's been totally renovated, and then he was able to rinse and repeat, and he went into a second renovation. So he was a renovator and a buy and hold renovator, and he has over 2,000 doors doing it that way. But he's very focused. That's his full-time job. He'd be out at job sites every day. So in lieu of that, buying new construction and doing that way would be my advice. And looking at increasing that equity position with your tenant, and then using the bank's money for a refinance and pulling that equity out, plus appreciation, and rolling that into your second and third property. Exactly how I do it, and exactly how so many other investors do it. So thank you for that question, Kevin. So if you have any questions you'd like to enter into our system, we'd be happy to answer them here on the show. Just go to Morris Invest. That's our website, morrisinvest.com, MORRIS invest.com/Clayton. That's me. And that'll bring up a little voicemail button. Leave us a 30-second voicemail question about your struggles in real estate or investing or just getting started, and we will attempt to answer them here on the show. So now go out there, everyone. Take action. Become a real estate investor. I believe it's the #1 way to build and protect your wealth. We'll see you next time.